All right, today we're joined by Avery Van Hook and Sam Unteed, and I will open it up for questions.
Yeah, for either one of you, I mean, dominant performance from start to finish. Just kind of how do you keep that killer instinct as each set goes on?
You want to?
Sure. I think coming out in set one, we didn't start exactly how we wanted, and we were just like, let's settle in here, find our rhythm, and I think once we found it, we just kept going from there. I think we're such a team in that realm that, like, you know, we're good. Next ball. I mean, their right sides were going at it and getting a lot of kills in the first set, and we were like, how do we slow them down and play our game? They're a really scrappy team, and so are we, and we were just like, how do we get it one dig higher so we can run an efficient offense?
Yeah, I feel like every single time we would go into the huddle, if we're down, it doesn't really matter. We move on as a team, and I also think, like, one thing we kind of like to say is just, like, out-team other teams, and I think that we really do a good job of doing that. We're always making eye contact. We really believe in each other.
Sam, I notice you get really excited every time you guys score a point.
Yeah.
Just kind of, how does it feel to be infectionate with that energy?
Yeah, I just feel like everybody kind of has a role, and I feel like my more role on the team is kind of just to be that little spark that comes in. So I honestly get so excited for my teammates because I see how hard we work every single day, and I love the successes. I love to celebrate with them, even, you know, if it's not me or if I had something to do with it. It doesn't matter. I get really excited.
Very efficient game for everybody. What's like the connectivity level like? Like how much does that start with, like the passing and then onward to the kill or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, our defense is really good and at the top of the league and top of the NCAA, and we take a lot of pride in that. And not only just getting it up, but getting it up with quality so we can run our offense on the other side of the ball. And I have a really good relationship with all my hitters, and you see Amelia come in, get a kill right away. That's because we work on it every day in practice. It's not starting side versus non-starters every single day. We mix it up because that's what a team does, and that's how we stay as one. But we have so much depth on our team, and we take a lot of pride in that.
Is there any area of any area that you guys have felt like has like came along the most since the beginning of the season, or something that you kind of feel like you're on the cusp of like really breaking through in an area?
Yeah, I kind of feel like connectivity, like you guys were saying, like we highlighted it obviously this weekend, but I feel like it has been a process for us just because we are a very young team, so we do have new kiddos. We also have transfers too, so it's just like kind of hard to build those connections, but I think we really work in practice, but also just out of practice to really make sure that we are working on becoming a team.
Then Avery, I know you're the setter, but you had 4 kills tonight. Just how does it feel to maybe catch the defense by surprise on some of those?
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in my offense. I think it helps hold the blockers on with staying with me, so it opens up our hitters. And once my hitters are feeling, you know, they're having a double block on them, that opens me up more. And I think that's where our communication comes in. And I knew coming into today that my swing and my deep corners are going to work more than the ones like straight down because of how shallow their defense is. And yeah, I love getting kills, but that starts with the defense and getting the quality digs on the back end.
All right, thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Coach Williamson, go ahead and give us an opening statement.
This was a great win for our team. You know, we saw the entire weekend just how tight all of these matches were, the ones including us and also the ones with the other teams. And, you know, we knew that this was going to be that type of tournament. So every night was going to be a grind. Every night, I think it could have gone any way. And I felt like today, I think we just got better as the match went on. I don't think we started great. Those first 6 or 7 points, I think we just looked a little bit out of sync. But I think it was really important for us to be able to make a change in the middle of a set, which is what we didn't do as well yesterday in a couple of them. So I love that we got better there. I thought we were good in the 20s, which was really good to see with a young team. And then obviously defensively, I think that was a big part of our success. A lot of digs in each set. But I do think our offense got going a lot too. So I was happy to see that. Ava had a great night, 10 kills, hit almost 350. You know, for somebody who came off the bench yesterday later on in the match, I think she was a little bit of a spark for us. And I just think everybody kind of had their moments where they were able to go off and make a difference with our performance. So a sweep in this tournament to me is a win in itself. And the way we did it, I was really proud of that.
Yeah, Coach, as you mentioned, after the first set, you held them below 100 hitting. Just kind of defensively as the game goes on, how does it feel to see your team, put a team down when you're up early?
Yeah, I mean, good. Anytime you can finish one out, it's going to be a positive. But, I think Drake's a very good team. Defensively, they're just as scrappy as we are. I think they keep the ball alive a lot. They make you have to take multiple swings. But when they were in system, and I thought they were passing pretty well in the first set and a half, that they're able to score the ball at a high rate, too. And I think their right sides went off kind of early on in the match. And we made a really good change in the third set, and then they combined for 3 kills, whereas before that they were much higher. So I was happy that we were able to make those adjustments as well, defensive changes, and kind of slow down what was working for them, make them think a little bit more, which again is something that we didn't do as well yesterday. So you can start, if you can start strong and finish strong, I mean, that's when you get a score like 25-13, obviously in that third set. But again, getting better as the match went on, and I think in that third set we just had a ton of confidence and we're rolling as a team.
As Avery mentioned, you guys like to be known as a scrappy team. Just how well does that align with the culture of South Dakota volleyball?
I mean, it's been a part of us for years. I think defense has always been something that I've really enjoyed coaching. It's something that I enjoy watching. It's something that we love seeing in our own gym every single day. And there's an expectation to kind of rise to that level when you are a transfer, you're a freshman. I mean, that's who you need to be coming into our gym. And I feel like not only is that continuing to be a part of our culture, but we just have some fantastic defensive players right now. In my opinion, I think we have multiple liberos on the floor, on any given time, just because of how good they are. So it's a big part of us. It was a big part of us again tonight. Over 20 digs per set, which was another really good high number. But that mixed with our offensive production today was really good to see.
How important is it to use these tournaments and stuff where you play like multiple games in a day to really build out some depth, and especially early on with a team that's kind of still coming together?
Yeah, I mean, every preseason is important, but we put together this schedule knowing that it was going to be really difficult. And, each weekend, essentially coming out 2-1 there, we would have loved to have a couple of those back, but you just learn so much about yourself. And obviously the preseason matters. It matters for RPI. It matters for, ranking down the road, hopefully if we're in that spot to be in the NCAA tournament. But in the end, the biggest thing it does for us is allow us to grow. It allows us to see what we're good at. It allows us to see what we're not good at. And we saw some of that this weekend still, things that I actually think that we were doing pretty well with the first couple weekends, I think took a back seat a little bit this weekend. So again, now we know going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what we need to really focus on as a team to be as prepared for conference as we can. And, now everyone starts back over 0-0, but the lessons that we've learned, the process that we have followed, the amount of growth that we have seen with our team is huge. And we do have some experienced players back. Obviously Cameron has been a staple for us. I mean, was incredible again tonight, over 7 digs per set. But and Avery and Amanda have a decent amount of experience as well, but we do have some freshmen and sophomores on the floor that don't have as much. So we've got a good mix of people. So every time we can get on the floor, every time we can learn about ourselves, every time we see what we're good at and what we're not, it makes us better. And you have to be bought into that, though. You have to have a team that's willing to respond in those situations, and this group is.
The rule with 2 liberos has been around for a little bit now, but does that kind of feed into your game plan a little bit with being kind of more of a scrappy team?
We don't use 2 liberos, and I'm not against it. Cameron for us has been such a staple on both the defensive side of things and the serve receive aspect that that would actually limit us from getting some of our, better defensive players on the floor consistently. So, we don't use that. Do we do it in the future? Maybe. Only time will tell. It depends on the makeup of each team, but, I think it allows for some other opportunities, for people. It's just not something that we're using right now.
Did you kind of sense early on that you could have kind of an efficient night and take advantage of some stuff at the net?
Yeah, they play defense a little bit differently than us. So I think the not the fear, but the concern or the question mark is just how do we handle that, hitting against a different type of defense than what we see on a daily basis in our own gym. And I think it probably helps a little bit that we played Wichita State last night because they're similar, different but similar in some ways. And I thought we just handled it better tonight. We just looked more confident with it. I do think just we were able to be a little bit more intentional with some of our swings. I think we let the block play with us a little bit too much yesterday. And today offensively, I think we're not avoiding the block. We're using the block in good ways instead of letting them kind of dictate where we were attacking. So, I did think that we could be efficient, especially if we were in system. And defensively, we dug a lot of balls in system that allowed us to be good in transition.
Yeah, obviously you can't replace Kylan Seelock from last year, but Lauren Medic has really stood up early on this season. What are you most impressed with of her game so far?
I think just the role that she's taken on. She was a 6 rotation outside for us last year too, when she kind of took over that role. And I think she did a lot of good things, but she's just learned, she's grown. She's more confident in herself and the impact that she can make on this team. But she takes a big load. The amount of swings that she takes, she took almost 50 swings and our next person took 21. Now, I will say she had 19 in the first set, and I think 8 of them came in the first couple of plays, So there's times that she gets a lot of out-of-system balls, and there's times that she might be taking 3 or 4 swings in a rally, and that's a lot to put on somebody, but I just think she's handled it really well, and tonight I think she probably handled it the best as we went on throughout the match. But I'm impressed with, obviously, how she handles that, but that's the role she wants. She wants to be an impact player, and she can in a lot of different aspects. She actually struggled passing a little bit today early on, but again, redirected her, and I think she did a great job of making those changes. And that's a true competitor right there, and really excited to see what she's going to be able to do throughout the season.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.